Rory McIlroy has announced his withdrawal from this weekend's Travelers Championship as he looks to bounce back from his US Open defeat to Bryson DeChambeau. Rory McIlroy has opted out of the Travelers Championship this weekend, leaving behind a potential £3.1 million, $4 million prize, following his US Open defeat by Bryson DeChambeau. The golf sensation from Northern Ireland announced on social media his decision to withdraw from the forthcoming tournament after his disappointment in North Carolina, where DeChambeau emerged victorious. He wrote, "Yesterday was a tough day, probably the toughest I've had in my nearly 17 years as a professional golfer. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate Bryson. He is a worthy champion and exactly what professional golf needs right now. I think we can all agree on that. As I reflect on my week, I'll rue a few things over the course of the tournament, mostly the 2 missed putts on 16 and 18 on the final day. But, as I always try to do, I'll look at the positives of the week that far outweigh the negatives. As I said at the start of the tournament, I feel closer to winning my next major championship than I ever have. The one word that I could describe my career as is resilient. I've shown my resilience over and over again in the last 17 years, and I will again." In his closing remarks, McIlroy shared that he would be taking a few weeks away to come to terms with the defeat and to regroup. But fans can expect to see him at the Genesis Scottish Open and the Open at Royal Troon. He signed off with, "See you in Scotland." McIlroy has decided to take a break and will miss the Travelers Championship, which boasts a staggering first-place prize of £3.1 million. This is all in preparation for the Open. The 2024 PGA Tour calendar's final signature event will see top golfers like Jason Day, Tony Finau, Ricky Fowler and Scottie Scheffler compete from June 20 to June 23. This decision comes after DeChambeau dashed McIlroy's hopes of securing his first major title since the 2014 PGA Championship at Valhalla. Despite being on track to win the US Open over the weekend, Rory missed crucial par putts on the 16th and 18th holes. DeChambeau clinched the second major title of his career with a 4-foot putt on the 18th at Pinehurst No-2 on Sunday. This led to McIlroy avoiding the media and skipping the presentation ceremony shortly after Bryson's final ball sank.